I will not be stopped!
Join with us right now!
What size?
This one's from Jeremy in Wisconsin. And it says, Tuffy brand coffee is the best coffee in the world. Thanks for the grift.
Anyway, I'm going to find out who this quartering character is. And when I do, he's going to get a bit of the old ice troll treatment.
Went from loathing Brie Larson to being the unofficial #1 fan site for Brie Larson.
How about a handshake? You're gonna give me your jacket, your helmet, and your motorcycle, and in return, I'm gonna let you keep your hand.
Happy Monday, everybody. Whoa. What is this? We don't have any. I think you need some anime figures on your shelf, Luke.
I got some. I got who is that? The brain melting. I'll just bring it over here.
Oh yeah, like the soy jack guy.
I got the soy jack.
Yeah.
Right. Soy jack
And
looks
he's
pretty cool,
dead.
right? Right.
Does that count as anime? I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's not really
right?
anime, but
I got the other soy jack here.
Yeah.
All right. Like that's happy guy. You know.
Oh, Tim Pool. Oh, I didn't know Tim sold those. I know he was sick, but
it's made out of his beanie.
Oh, okay. Well,
you
that's
like my
good.
microphone setup? Look at that microphone setup. Look at that professionalism. Look at this. Like you're not ready for this, Jeremy. Okay. With my budget, I am providing a spectacular, incredible, amazing show. You're very welcome.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you were using the mic that's actually you keep putting in front of your face and not the. No,
I do.
No, you're not
that's
using
the
it.
mic.
No,
yes, I am.
No,
yes, it's showing up on my.
No, it's not.
Son of a gun! All right, hold on. Go to the settings. Where's the audio visual? Hold on. Now, okay.
There we go. Yeah.
He's just keeping you on his toes.
Yeah.
Snap. So my computer broke.
Oh, that sucks. I actually think the other one was better.
Which one?
The
other mic. Yeah. Or
No,
if you just got to keep that a little further from your face because you keep blowing it out. Like it keeps.
That's what she said.
That's right. She did tell you that, and you didn't listen. And now look where you are. Your computer broke. It's all because you installed that webcam in my house.
I did everything to try to rescue it. I did a recovery. I did last backup. I did everything. Nothing worked. The hard drive failed.
Oh dang! Oh, like legit dead.
Dead. Like it's at a professional. I did everything possible trying to fix it, and I spent all Friday like wasting away doing.
You want me to get you a new one in the mail, bud? Promo code the quartering from Meta PCs.
That would be very generous of you. That would be very nice in this kind of peasant.
And your internet's broken too. I can't fix that.
No, the internet's great. I got good internet.
Yeah,
I got great internet. I got this. I ran the speed test, and this is my crappy backup studio here. So,
talk to me after the show. I'm sure I can get you a computer at little to no charge because our amazing sponsors, Meta PCs, promo code the quartering. Maybe I could get Luke Radowski a promo code, and you can just work it off for them. That might be even better for you.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a computer.
I had a really nice computer. I invested a lot. It was like a 4K.
Oh, was it a tower in the other room?
Yeah, okay. It was the tower in the main room, and I spent a lot of money on that. And then I'm like, it just broke.
Oh, this one keeps freezing. Or is it just me?
Is it freezing?
Hannah Claire, are you seeing him, or is it me?
He doesn't seem like he's freezing to me. Maybe he's
maybe
developed the slow-mo power, and he's
his video is just like totally frozen to me. Like, is he talking to you right now?
Yeah, he's talking.
Oh, now you're there. Oh, weird.
Yeah, it works. It works. I haven't had any interruptions here at all.
It might
Jeremy's
be.
internet hates Luke.
I'm gonna have to get a new computer. Promo code the quartering. The I got Melanie a new computer when she needed it, and they're what's crazy is like they're a good PC sponsor, obviously, but like the number of times I've been like, hey, here's a small creator that could really use a computer. Like, I don't think they've ever told me no.
Really?
Yeah. So they
except when Maggie needed a new computer, they were like, no, you pay for that.
They charged me for that one. Yeah.
Interesting. Very anti-Maggie energy.
Well, they also give me like 2 computers a year. You know. So
I'm just echoing Meta PC. I'm sure they're great. No one is anti-Maggie. How could you be? Just propaganda from me.
Yeah, they just charged me cost, so it was still a good deal. And she has like a pretty fancy laptop now. How was everyone's weekend? As I key up the topics here, Trump and Zelensky are measuring swords right now.
But Zelensky had to bring a whole bodyguard posse with him. So
I know, like that's pretty embarrassing for Zelensky, to be honest. He's like, I will not get cucked again, and they're like,
I'll save it
sorry.
for like when we're talking about it. But like, all of those people have their own country to run. What are we doing here? And
well, that's I'm gonna put that in like, it seems to me like Europe wants the war.
Yeah.
Like,
doesn't seem like they're advocating against it very intensely.
We're supposed to have nonchalant banter about our weekends. Can we not talk about hardcore geopolitical news that I've been watching and paying close, obsessive attention to the point of absurdity here? Can we talk about what you guys did?
Close attention to it. What did you do this weekend?
I did a ghost tour Friday, which was pretty interesting here in South Florida. Lots of ghost lore, which was really
piratey ghost lore.
No, Native American, actually.
Interesting.
So they have a bunch of like Native American tribes and people and early settlers that talked about like really crazy things historically. It was interesting because it was more of a historical tour, which I nerd out about a lot.
It's almost like there's a lot of crossover there.
Yeah.
You know where I want to go? I want to go to Hannah Claire's neck of the woods.
Yeah, you should. We've got like tons of haunted places.
Yeah, like the Sokotoa place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't that where like the whole group of people just disappeared and no one knows why or how? Isn't they write that on a tree, Sokotoa, or is that a math thing?
I'm not sure. It's not the one I'm familiar with. There was a town like that where I grew up, where it was like if you went down these roads, you'd find it, and it was totally gone.
Oh,
I went
on help me out. Croatoan. That's what it is. Yeah. Sokotoa, I think, is a math thing. Yeah, that's sine, cosine. No, that's sine, cosine, whatever. Yeah. Croatoan or whatever. Yeah.
I went on a ghost tour in sorry.
Yeah, we had a big UFC over the weekend. I don't know if you guys watched any of the UFC.
No, I'm not like huge into gay porn, but like I think
the record would be quite opposite of that, but
that I'm huge into gay porn. Well, maybe the ladies. What? Yeah, I don't. I do like UFC, but I'm a total like normie casual. So if it's like I don't know who's fighting, then I don't care. Like I'm like, oh, this guy likes Trump. I'll watch and cheer for him. He might be like a total loser piece of garbage, but like I'm like, oh, he likes America, so I'm a big fan of this guy, or whatever the case may be. But where was it? Was it in Miami?
No, it was in Chicago. But I got some like random ragtag group of friends, and we were just watching it, at a restaurant. So it was pretty fun being a part of that, even though the last fight wasn't as fun. But the two fights before then were ended by spinning elbow, which were pretty devastating. Yeah, those are pretty spectacular. Cool. Yeah, it was pretty insane. So it was a nice little fun weekend. Yesterday I went on a long walk.
I'll probably be a big UFC guy now that's on Peacock, though. Like
Paramount.
You're right, Paramount. Because then I'll be able to like watch it without paying $50. Like the risk of like, oh, I'm paying $50 and I don't know any of these people. Like at least now I can just put it on, and not be $50 in the hole.
Yeah. I always felt like UFC was the best when you do it like.
It's really fun when you're around other people that are watching it because you kind of get all the kind of energy that's built up from it. It's more fun that way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I knew a group of guys when I was in college who would like buy the card, and it was sort of like, okay, you would like have like an all day thing, right? Like you'd bring like chips, salsa, whatever, you'd hang out, you can come and go. It was like an open house, and you would watch the card because sometimes they're really long if you start from the beginning, but it was always like a good event because you don't have to know the fighters that well to still get into it,
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward sport to understand.
As a general rule, I would always just look at like who the under is and like cheer for them. Like oh, if I didn't know, I was like, well, who's the underdog? Okay, cool. Like
I like the underdogs too. Usually, I root for the underdogs.
Yeah, because that's just like, at least you're like, oh, okay, well, everybody loves an underdog, an underdog story or whatever. Over this weekend, I didn't do much. I felt a sickness invading my system, and so I can't get sick because I can't take weeks off work like some people. And so like I just took it hardcore easy, like lots of sauna time, lots of vitamins, lots of what's the one that makes you pee all the time? Zinc, not zinc.
Prostate massages.
No, I don't even know what that is. Yeah, what is that, Luke? I'm not. What is that? What is it? It's like you take it like emergency. It's like I think it's whatever it is.
Emergency.
Like, that's like the brand of, but I just take the actual like magnesium and like
vitamins.
Yeah, don't buy that stuff. That stuff is horrible.
No, I just take the I look at the active ingredients and stuff that like looks like it works, and I felt better on Sunday, and then today I felt like 10% better too. So, yeah. So I pretty much didn't, do much of anything. It was kind of boring.
You should have called me up. I have a whole protocol of like what to do if you're like getting sick.
Yeah, you just offered up your first step, and I'm not going to get a prostate massage. I'm still taking
the thing that makes you pee.
Yeah, I'm still makes you pee something else. I'm still taking your magnesium supplement. And then somebody sent me ashwagandha, but I didn't take it because you said you didn't. You weren't like sold on it.
No, I am sold on it, but you want to take it carefully. If you're dealing with a lot of like stress and cortisol, it's great for that. It's great for hormone levels. It's great for testosterone. It's great for sleep. Atlas, calm down. Hey, sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
Get over here.
The other thing. The other thing I did is
good 1 month. You want to take it for 1 month out of the year. You don't want to take it more than 1 month out of the year, but it's really good, really potent, really powerful.
Oh, nice. I also I had a lot of smoothies, like healthy ones, not the ones that taste good. Like the green detox smoothies with supplements and all that kind of stuff. And I peed a lot of bad out. And that felt good. So today I feel okay. And then tonight I'll go to bed early again. I watched the latest Wes Anderson film, was not very good. The last like 3 Wes Anderson films were not very good. I'm like a hardcore Wes Anderson fan. And I feel like his last like 3 or 4 movies were not good.
Why? Are they not good in the same way? Or is it like, is he losing his touch, or is there something else bothering you?
I think when you have such a unique style and such a unique aesthetic, that the movie itself has to be even better, because the aesthetic can get kind of boring. Like it's almost like you can kind of get sick. Like if the movie isn't super unique in that aesthetic, it feels like you're watching the same movie, if that makes sense. Like there's nothing that looks like a Wes Anderson movie, period. There was one movie way back in the day called, that was kind of like Zach Braff was in it. And a lot of people thought it was a Wes Anderson movie, but it wasn't. But it was actually pretty good too. Zach Braff, shout out to Zach Braff and Mark Wahlberg are in it. And then they're like 2 sad guys who are going through, and Jason Schwartzman's in it. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, it's a Wes Anderson movie, but it wasn't. Anyway, but it was good.
Sad guys. You're like, that's how we know it's a Wes Anderson movie.
Well, it was called I Heart Huckabees. Yeah, I Heart Huckabees. Well, I mean, name a movie of Jason Schwartzman that wasn't a Wes Anderson movie. Most people can, I couldn't,
but that's because I'm not good at this game from the get-go.
Well, he was in this movie where he's like obsessed with this girl. He's trying to date her. And it was like a 90s like American Pie era movie. And I'm trying to remember what it was. Anyway, it was called The Last Phoenician. And it was about the Phoenician scheme, which is like about this guy who's kind of a shyster, and he's like trying to get all these people together and to invest on this thing. I don't know. It was a very Wes Anderson movie that Benicio del Toro was the star of it, and I thought he was excellent, but I don't know. It's 6 out of 10, and probably only like a 5 out of 10 if like a 3 or 4 out of 10 if you're not a Wes Anderson fan, because you're probably going to be like, what the hell? The Tinky Winky for $2 has shared that hard opinion that anal isn't sex and it's God's loophole. Well, I mean, we weren't discussing that, but I have been told by girls that went to Jesus school about the poop hole loophole. I don't think God,
I never heard it called that.
Not only do I not only do I stand by it, but it was well known among the boys in my high school about the Catholic school, the Jesus school girls. And one of my friends dated one, and it was a thing. Now, I would say that I don't think you could go to, if you were standing at the pearly gates, what is it, St. Peter's at the gates? And you're like, but it was only in my butt, St. Peter. Yeah, God loves loopholes. Yeah. St. Peter, haven't you heard of the poop hole loophole? Doesn't God love when people try to trick him? He's a big fan of being tricked. I don't think that would work, but that's up to you to try, I suppose. You can see, but let's talk about now that we've gone into the poop hole loophole, let's talk about actual stuff here.
Please.
Let's talk about actual poop.
No.
Yeah.
For me.
Would you get a poop transplant, Luke, if it made you feel better? I think I would do it.
There's is it Tom Brady poop? Tom Brady?
It would have to be a poop improvement. It wouldn't just be to do it.
Listen, my poop's pretty immaculate right now. I mean, I've dialed in my crap game.
Yeah,
like it's pretty superior. So I would doubt that other people would have a more superior. But if I would get a clinical test done, and it's like, okay, you're missing these key enzymes and missing these key bacteria to make your gut run optimally, 100%.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I think it's an actual thing for people that have like autoimmune diseases. It's like an actual medical treatment.
It is,
but usually those things turn out to be like voluntary procedures because from rich people. They're like, what? This helps sick people when they're sick? I'll do it. It'll be don't the people in Hollywood put like little baby circumcised penises in their lotion and put it on their skin? Like that's a thing. I think.
Yeah.
Foreskin lotion or something.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, Zelensky, Trump and Zelensky, remarkably different tone, I would say at this meeting. Would you not agree?
Well, he put on a suit. I sent you a link to.
He showed up at the White House yesterday without a suit, but then he showed up today and he had like a nice suit coat on. Like
he has a coat on and a button-up shirt and sneakers on. So fine. I think he did half and half.
Yeah,
so it's
fine.
like that. It's like that child. It's like you got to get dressed up nice. It's like I don't really want to get dressed up nice. But figuring how much money we spend on this endeavor, I think it would have been a nice kind of show, a nice gesture to be like, okay, fine, I'll wear a suit because you guys really want me to wear a suit. Axios was reporting that Trump really wanted him to wear a suit. And I was like, this, even though this is kind of pointless because we're talking about a man's kind of like clothing attire, I don't really like to talk about that. This is not the Grammys. It shouldn't really matter. But I think it did matter as far as a representation of what's going to be going on here and his kind of acquiescence to Trump and what Trump is trying to get done here.
Well,
so I think he did it right in the middle there.
Well, let me tell you why.
Matter,
all right, you go get him, Hannah Claire. I was gonna get him. You go get him.
Look, I just think it's disrespectful for this guy who's begging us for billions of dollars to speak to our Congress in his fake military fatigues. This is not someone who's seeing combat. And this is sort of the trope he's been playing out for the last couple years. I mean, I believe that there is a real devastation to Ukrainian people who are impacted by this conflict, just like the Russian people who live on the other side of the border. But really, Zelensky is just creating theater because he's ultimately an actor. I mean, I'd rather see him show up in the Beyonce costume from his single ladies dance video. I think that this is one of the things that I don't like about modern culture, which is like, yes, it is cool that you can be comfortable and you can dress casually, but there is a time and a place for everything. And just like it is, disrespectful to show up to someone's wedding in, clothes that are like torn or not appropriate for the occasion, I think meeting with world leaders, including Trump, I think it's fair to be like, put on a suit, dude, especially if you're coming here to negotiate a huge international conflict. If you in your day-to-day life want to dress casually, fine, great, travel on an airplane, but you should come to the occasion with a certain amount of respect. And that's really the thing that bothers me about Zelensky, which is that he treats the world stage as though it's all about him. I don't think that he's very respectful to the countries that have supported him, and definitely not to Trump or the United States. And in this sense, I agree with Luke. I think the fact that he has conceded slightly and put on something a little bit better than, again, his mock military uniform is a good sign. I think that he is probably going to be more reasonable than he has at other meetings, but it's not enough. I mean, he should be wearing a suit. He should be representing his country better than this. I don't know if that's what you were going to say, Jeremy, but
well, I'm kind of down the middle. Like, I don't care what he wore today if they just get the deal done. But I 100% think that, yeah, I don't care about the suit. Luke doesn't care about the suit, but it's about what it represents. Yeah. And like, if, you're here, I get that you're cosplaying like you just came from the front lines.
Which he never had.
He's right, of course. But like, it's like, bro, just put it on. Like, put on the suit. And, have some respect for the White House and for the American people who are paying for 99% of this. Now, I do think that this article was pretty interesting. I wanted to get both, since you're both foreigners, I wanted to get your take on like Europe kind of rushing now because they don't want him to quote unquote capitulate. I don't understand why they think, like, are they going to take over paying for the bill or what? Because that's like Macron, allegedly married a man. And I think someone else are like, well, we want to make sure we're there at the White House so he doesn't capitulate. When I hear that, I'm like, brother, like, you can keep this war going all you want, but I'm done paying for it. Like, if France, I know France is known for their huge stockpile of Predator drones, but like, hopefully France, if Macron is going to be here with his husband talking about how he doesn't want them to capitulate, that is the only solution. They have to give up Donbass, and they have, and that just has to happen. I have yet to hear any real pushback on that, other than people who don't have any skin in the game. What do you make of these Euro trash losers coming over here and saying Americans should be spending more money keeping this war going?
Well, if you look at their activity throughout all of this, they kind of have been sabotaging Donald Trump's peace moves and maneuvers. Because whenever Donald Trump would say, hey, we're going to stop funding a lot of this nonsense. Hey, we got to stop. We got to come to the negotiation table. We saw all these European leaders that always would kind of come forward, be like, no, we'll step up and we'll let you borrow money from us at a high interest rate.
Right.
And if you look at the support that they've been kind of giving, it's a lot of moral support. The United States overwhelmingly has spent huge sums of money. The Europeans haven't, comparatively to the United States here. This is our war because we financed the vast majority of it. Europe financed very little of it. Now they're starting to finance some of it. And they're talking tough here. But almost every step of the way, when you look at all these negotiations, they're always countering against Donald Trump here. And them coming to this meeting isn't a good sign. And it's a sign that there's even Zelensky's look here. I mean, if he would have donned a full suit, right, I would have been like, okay, he's actually willing to be respectful. He's actually willing to meet Trump halfway here. He did like a halfway gesture here, which is highlighting there's a reason he had meetings with all of the Europeans when Trump was having meetings with Putin, because they were devising Plan B. Plan B is, no, Ukraine does not capitulate. We continue this war. And that's what they have been setting up. And that's right. What is a big possibility of what they're going to get done here. And
Europe doesn't have the money, though. Like the other guy that's, and by the way, I love my Greek viewers. I love Greek people. I love your Euros. I love everything about Greece. But your economy is in the tank, my brothers. Like, why is your president, your leader in America to make sure Zelensky, like, Greece doesn't have any money to give? What is Greece going to do?
Doesn't have any money, and it has a mass migration problem. Like,
they're getting conquered. Right. They're getting conquered by brown people without firing a shot. And they're making sure they fly over to America and say, well, we want to make sure Zelensky doesn't capitulate.
Also, what a vote of confidence against Zelensky. It went from on Friday being like, well, we're going to have a call together to show our support and stand together, to being like, yeah, we're afraid this guy's going to break and that there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, I think this is sort of what's coming out about Zelensky, which is that, like, they don't think that
he wants to end it, though. Hannah Claire, didn't he say like 2 months ago, Wasn't he like, I'm ready? And then like Putin just kept bombing him. Like
they all
he was
do this,
at a
though.
point.
Like throughout the entire multiple years that this has been going on, at some point it's Putin who's like, well, we would be happy to have peace, but it's Zelensky. And then Zelensky says it. Like, I don't really take a lot of that seriously. But I think what the bigger issue is for me, if you're Zelensky, you suspended elections during wartime.
He's not even the president, by the way.
Right. He's term limited. Like, this is the end of his political career. I assume he doesn't want to go out on a bad note, having ceded territory. I don't really know how he gets around it at this point. But more than anything, I think that he has really trespassed too long on the goodwill of the Europeans who were happy to have him join NATO, who were willing to back him, who were willing to spend, some money on him. And everyone is at this point being like, this is becoming messier all the time. And also realistically, like, how long are we going to carry this out? So I think that he is proving himself every day that this goes on to be a weak leader. And I'm sure that's not what he wants to be known as long term.
Well, this says President Macron of France was the latest to use the C word on Sunday. There's only one state proposing a peace that would be a capitulation, Russia. I mean, okay, France, by the way, in between getting overrun by migrants, where something like 80% of all violent crime in France is done by illegal immigrants, something like that, 70% of all SA and the crimes those people love to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are attacks on like priests and Catholic churches in France by,
right.
for native people, I'm sure.
What's great is like the French leader was enjoying water sports in the Riviera, the Italian leader, Giorgia Meloni, had been in Greece, but it was a big deal. They all had to come and make sure he didn't capitulate. Well, these people don't have anybody on the front lines. These people aren't investing any money. How are you a Greek citizen looking at, your president going to America being like, yeah, we should drag out this war? Because what Trump really needs to do is say that, behind closed doors, if he said this publicly, then why would Russia ever agree? But it's like, the aid is done, because everyone knows if we stop giving them the drones and the missiles, Russia would have won this war 3 years ago. So like, what are we even doing here? Like, even Trump, I didn't like Trump saying like there was something going around where Trump wouldn't rule out U.S. troops or something. Yeah.
U.S. involvement in U.S. security. So instead of NATO protection, it's going to be American protection. So that's what's being negotiated right now. And I think it's a situation that's going to be very ripe for a false flag. Sorry, but I could tell you more about this. Keep going.
Yeah, no, well, I'll just play this clip and then you go ahead, because here's where Trump says, Ducey says, how much more is the U.S. willing to give Ukraine? We aren't giving anything. We're selling weapons. Biden gave them $300 billion. That's just not true. That's just like, how do you say? Like, he's just politicking. Yes, we are giving him a lot of things. Is he paying market value for those weapons? Are we going to get any of that money back? It's all nonsense. Go ahead, Luke. What you were going to say there?
So one of the things that's being proposed here, because Ukraine says, we'll get a deal if we get security protections, and we want to make sure that Russia doesn't invade and attack us if this deal is going to be made here. Now, Zelensky is also arguing for a ceasefire, which the Russians have said we don't want to happen. A ceasefire is just going to be a temporary pause as they're able to kind of redeploy their troops and rearm their troops and give their troops a long break.
Didn't Ukraine break the last one?
Yes. Technically, they did, because the Russians said we're going to do a ceasefire, but the first things that we're going to do is not going to attack the energy infrastructure. Now, the Ukrainians say that the Russians bombed allegedly a Ukrainian hospital, and in response to that, the Ukrainians then went ballistic on Russian energy infrastructure and started bombing the crap out of that, which was the first kind of phase of this ceasefire that, of course, was violated here. Yeah. Now, there was also a deal being negotiated here, and then the Ukrainians did a secret sabotage attack on the Russian armed nuclear air force. That stopped negotiations from going through. Today, there's a Russian state media reporting how there was supposed to be another terrorist attack on the Crimea bridge that would have blown up the Crimea bridge. If that would have happened today, which was also symbolic of what happened last time during negotiations when there was a major kind of terrorist attack a major type of sabotage attack by the Ukrainians, that would have just destroyed these negotiations. So I think we have to understand that the situation is ripe for the intel agencies to create a Gulf of Tonkin-like incident, an incident that could spur on, be a false flag, as now there are serious considerations, and we're probably going to be hearing about this, the fact that Ukraine will not join NATO, but the United States will come in and give security protections and guarantees to Ukraine from here if this deal goes through, which means if Ukraine is ever attacked again, the United States will automatically get involved and fight on behalf of Ukraine here. I say that's extremely dangerous, but it's one of the things that probably will be happening. And if it does happen, I'm going to keep an eye out for false flag attacks on American soldiers on the front lines, which would create a full-on conflict and war.
Yeah, Hannah Claire, do you see a scenario? I think Luke brings a good point. I don't think there's a scenario where we get this deal done without the United States basically saying to Ukraine, like, yeah, we'll protect you. Like, do you think that is going to happen? What are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I think inevitably there'll be some kind of promise of American protection. I don't know that it's in our best interest long term, but if you're Trump and you're saying no, Ukraine can't be in NATO, then Ukraine is going to say, well, you're leaving us defenseless when we are now the most vulnerable. And I can understand what kind of influence they're leveraging at that point. I mean, I think a lot of
counterpoint. Let him into NATO and then leave NATO.
Look, I'd be happy to. I don't know that NATO is as effective as Ukraine thinks it is. But and also, to be fair, like, they admitted Finland. So there was a huge expansion of NATO's border against Russia. Like, I understand why Russia, if you're Putin, you're like, hey, there's this collective that always labels me as an enemy and it's expanding. Like, of course, you don't want to see it expanded against on your front door, especially in lands that you believe you have a claim over. The problem is, like a lot of conflicts, ultimately, it comes down to the U.S. saying we are still basically committed to you. And I worry about either party kind of abusing that. But on the other hand, this has gone on for so long. I think that this conflict really needs to be brought to an end. And I think most people want some kind of ceasefire and end of conflict.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't care if Russia, like, I know I shouldn't feel this way, but it's like, I would rather Russia just win the war than keep paying for it. That's why, like, I've been so beaten into, like, you know, I'm just so over this that I want them to get this deal done. Zelensky's dragged it on by being kind of a little biatch. You know, I think part of him is that he doesn't want this war to end because then his presidency will end. People kind of forget that little, you know, when he ends this war, he's going to be no longer president.
There's going to be elections. And Donald Trump kind of hinted at the fact during these recent meetings that he's going to do what Zelensky does, and he's going to cancel elections as well. This is a clip that I think is worth playing because it just kind of transpired and happened here that I just sent to you in the private chat.
I got it. All right. Let's see here. Whoops. That's Luke's gay porn.
But as far as Trump being asked, Trump was also asked directly. I sent you another clip of the troop deployment. I sent you two clips, one of talking about the elections and another one of the troop deployment. I think the one with the troop deployment is the one that's more topical of what we were discussing here as well, because Trump's kind of open to the idea of having U.S. troops in Ukraine during this conflict.
Yeah.
Legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
I actually think he's roasting him a little bit.
Yeah, the audio's really low, by the way. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it's low on the clip, and if I turn up much louder, like, he's kind of roasting him. Like, he's kind of like, well, if we're in a war, then I guess no elections here either. Like,
if you guys are okay with Zelensky doing it, surely it's okay for everybody to do it. Yes.
Yeah. I think he's kind of roasting him there. And then this one he sent to, let's see here. There.
Your team has talked
that was too loud. All right, hold on.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you rule that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting.
Well, he hasn't ruled it out because they're still negotiating.
Yeah.
I think like I'm not too worried yet. He's just being a good negotiator, saying like, well, I don't know, and we'll have to see. What would be great is if they could get, I mean, Trump knows what Putin wants, right? I'm assuming that Trump is basically authorized to say that this war is over. Like, he knows what Putin wants. I assume Putin has, said, go get it for me. And that's what's happening today. Unless I'm totally, I mean, I don't know. It's entirely likely I'm just dead wrong about this. But I mean, he met with Putin. He knows what Putin wants. Everybody knows what Putin wants. And it's all a matter of whether or not, it's all a matter of how they can spin this to save face for Zelensky. Like, Putin will not end this war without Donbass, right?
Right. And I think that's part of the reality with Zelensky and the fact that this war is tied up in his legacy and his ego. It's obvious what Putin wants. I mean, we've all kind of known from the beginning, and maybe like the exact
Putin's been very clear
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's some technical stuff to work out, but I don't think it was ever that much of a mystery. And the portrayal of Zelensky as this warrior, as this like, celebrity to be, he goes on Vogue with his wife, like he is fighting for the underdog.
Well, I think she got cut out.
She's still, oh yeah, she froze. Boy, weird. There you go. Keep going.
Right, as soon as I'm critical of the boy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I don't want to rant too much about it, but I just think that, it's obvious what Russia wants. You would say on its face, Ukraine doesn't want to give Russia what it wants, but also it seems very much entangled with Zelensky and what he has come to see as his purpose, which is to tour around the world getting money for his country, allegedly. Right. I think in some ways I wouldn't be surprised if you did a post-mortem on this and there were times that there could have been a resolution earlier and he was part of the reason that they did not come to fruition. Not to say that Russia never ever pushed back or resisted peace talks, right. But I think Ukraine has been not served well by his leadership.
I'm going to go to some comments from chat. Our sergeant says Croatoa. Spike says the poop hole loophole is a thing. I know. I confirmed it. Like, I knew girls who confirmed this to me. 7 Legion Studios. It's really only a loophole when they're like dumb and in high school, so it's not any value for you anymore, Luke, unless you're cruising high schools. 7 Legion Studios.
My last name's not Epstein.
Yeah. For illness, chug a gallon of orange juice.
Israeli intelligence.
Yeah, or
I'm not in Las Vegas.
Oh, that just happened. Yeah, that did just happen. Yeah. Our sergeant says, counter to your counter, let both Russia and Ukraine into NATO. Then NATO has no real value.
Then they let Russia in. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I mean, let them in. Then the United States should still leave. Like, the United States is NATO. Let's be very clear. And like, we get nothing out of it. And most of the countries in NATO don't pay their dues or do what they're supposed to do. It mattered in the 1950s. Now with nuclearization, really, the United States does not need anybody to defend it. I would argue that Russia doesn't really need anyone to defend it either. Unless it's basically just an axis against China. Publis Rumbles gifted a Rumble Premium. Very, very cool. And any super chats on YouTube, I already got that one. Matt Reese says, people aren't talking about what people of Eastern Ukraine want. The vast majority want to be free from Ukraine, whether that means independence or joining Russia. Eastern
I heard
Ukraine,
you guys were all brainwashed, and you're not allowed to think that way. So of course, no one's talking about what they want.
Well, they want to speak Russian, right? And they speak Russian. They want. I mean, also, like, by the way, I will take in upwards of 15 female Ukrainians to live. I have a nice outbuilding out there. Must wear sundresses. Must
beginnings of cult. Okay.
No. It's not a cult. A cult has a leader. We'll all be leaders, ladies. We'll all be leaders.
That's a very convenient way of saying that. My family actually took in Ukrainians. They took in a Ukrainian family from Poland.
Oh, nice. In Poland, you mean? Yeah.
their experience wasn't that nice.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's hard because I feel like, again, like all wars, there are victims in the civilians, but I don't have any empathy for their leaders who are dragging it out or who are pretending like they know what's best when they're clearly selfishly motivated.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like the whole world is kind of over this. It's kind of the way like there's kind of like a kind of a general malaise of Palestine, Israel. I have too. Like people won't say this out loud. I don't know. I don't think it's a hot take to just not give a shit anymore. Like I don't care if Israel steamrolls Palestine. I don't care if Palestine, wins the war against Israel. I don't care because neither country is named the United States of America. I don't care. We can't be in every flipping war all the time. Like it's just, I'm over it. I don't care. I don't care about Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia have had 2 years to end this war. They've certainly had since Trump took office in January to end this war. 7 months, another 50,000 dead. I mean, Trump should have walked away a long time ago. If Trump's ego wasn't I'm the peacemaker in chief, he would have walked away by now. Any normal person would have walked away by now. Just let Europe handle it. Europe's got a lot to say about it. Let Europe handle it.
Yeah, but I think also Europe knows they're dependent on America, and that's why they go through like the guilt shame route. They're like, wow, America isn't supporting these poor people, and we are. And they're like, you know what I mean? Like they know they can handle the financial burden, but instead of just being like, look, we all have to work together, and maybe there is a time to like bring this to a close. They're like, well, classic fascist Trump just doing whatever he wants and leaving people behind, or like, whatever the emotional pull is that will get the headlines. And it's not logical. And again, it's not helping anybody, but everyone is not willing to admit that like without America's input or participation, this conflict would have gone very differently.
Russia would have won 3 years ago and we would have saved lives. Like, sorry, hot take. If U.S. wouldn't have been funding this stupid proxy war with Russia, 50,000 to 100,000 less Slavic men. Like, they would have just taken over Donbass and it would have been done. And, like, Europe wasn't going to do diddly dick about it. And instead, the people around Joe Biden's corpse was like, hey, this is a great way for us to fund the military-industrial complex. And we can sell a bunch of bombs to the Ukrainians to beat the evil Russian. I don't care about Russia. Like, I don't have I think the average 30 to anybody who's probably under 50 doesn't have any, maybe under 18 because they're still kind of like drinking the Kool-Aid. But like, I think most millennials don't give a shit about Russia. I don't have any problem with Putin. I don't care.
I just don't understand why we are more like why Russia is a bigger enemy and threat than China. I know that's a really simplistic way to put it, but like
less trade.
We told our Olympic athletes when they went a couple of years ago, like, don't bring your cell phones, don't turn them on. China's going to bug you. We know about the Uyghur Muslims. Like, we know that they're devastating our economy. We know that they spy on us and we know they buy our land. And yet we're like, but Russia, they're the ones that we have to wag our finger at.
They fear Russia and Europe coming together. They fear the kind of German engineering might coming together with the full Russian mineral and energetic resources that they have. And they see, and Russia has talked about this, they said if Europe and Russia comes together, it will be a formidable threat like China, like the United States. So geopolitically speaking, that has been that kind of the mindset that has created this type of divisiveness that the United States benefits off of by not bringing together Russia and Europe together. Yeah. But historically, there always has been tensions there. There's also a lot of tensions.
They invaded them twice. Like that kind of has something to do with it. Twice in 40 years.
Yeah, but also to add to the fact that the deep state, the intelligentsia, and all these type of organizations and the military-industrial complex always needs a fight, always needs a war. As soon as the war in Afghanistan ended,
we got like Ukraine 1 minute.
Started right back up. So as soon as this war is ended, you could expect a lot of tumultuous situations unfolding in the Middle East, and a lot of people are coming out and saying it's only just a matter of time, like we've said, that the war in Iran is going to kick off again, and that's going to be the next big theater of conflict that I think will be unfolding if this Ukraine war successfully ends. And Listen, with the way that Zelensky is kind of posturing here and the way that the Europeans are posturing here, I think it's like a 40% chance that there's going to be peace here from my perspective and analysis. And I hope it works because there's too many young Slavic men dying. But if it is achieved, look out for the Middle East. There's going to be a bigger conflict there unfolding right after this.
Yeah. Yeah, we need the United States. Hey, Mickey Knox subscribed with Prime over on Twitch. Very cool. Thank you so much. The next topic I wanted to talk about, and by the way, we do have a members section topic today. Those will be kind of after an hour, after the first hour and a half or so, we'll go to a members topic. So I want to thank everyone that joined as a member last week. We had a bunch of people. Whether you're a Rumble Premium member or a member on thequartering.com/join, you get full access to the members only stream, the members only videos, our members Discord. I created the book club. I created the fantasy football thing. I created the moms group. So whatever you guys want as a member is getting created. And you can join today by either becoming a Rumble Premium member using my promo code in the description below, and then you just email me and I'll put you in there. So you can get a free month of Rumble Premium with promo code FREEQUARTERING at the link in the description. Or you can go to thequartering.com/join for $6 and get access to above and beyond discounts from our sponsors, access to all the members only content, members only live streams, members only, all that kind of stuff. And if you sign up for the year, you get a month free. So our goal is 10 new members today, whether you sign up for Rumble Premium or you go to thequartering.com/join. If you join, let us know in chat so I can give you a shout out. Our goal is 10 a day, 5 days a week till the end of the year. And then I don't have to fire anybody, which would be great. Speaking of, Luke, you want to let the people know where they can find, we've got this MSNBC story coming up next, but I want to give you a second to shout out your channel and shout out where people can support you and what you got going on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. If you want to support me, you can on wearechange.shop. I'll just put it in the chat room. You should have told me you're not feeling well. I would have sent you a whole bunch of supplements and a whole bunch of protocols to do here. I know all of them. You just tell me the symptoms and we'll make great things happen. Wearechange.shop, a lot of great supplements. We just started our Liposol vitamin C, which I would recommend you take with food. Jeremy, especially if you feel the sniffles coming on. When I was traveling on, my flight to Poland and back, it was a long travel day. It was like 21 hours of traveling. Just being tired and exhausted and around all those other people in like one little tube, it makes a lot of people susceptible to be sick. I wasn't sick this time. I loaded up on a whole bunch of Liposol vitamin C. And I think that's one of the great things that I would recommend people take if they think they're getting sick or if they're traveling. Definitely you want to build up that immune system and your terrain as best as you can here. As I think there's a big potential of more surprises, especially with gene-specific biowarfare within the next few years that I think we should be looking out for. So yeah, take care of yourself. Wearechange.shop is where to go to do that.
Very cool. You can find my work on Rumble and YouTube. It's Hannah Claire B. I do videos on the news, some cultural analysis. I'll have a couple videos up this week. You can also find me on X. I'm Hannah Claire B there as well. Thanks as always to those of you guys who are supporting me. And if you haven't, check out my stuff. It's Hannah Claire B on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Jeremy, how is your coffee business?
Doing good. Summer blends on sale over at coffeebrandcoffee.com. We also have a new drop of Kona coming out. I've been drinking the Kona every day. I can see how people get hooked on it, but it's too expensive to be like an everyday coffee unless you're a maniac. But I drank a bunch over the weekend. Coffee, clear out my system. Water in, coffee in, bad out, and it felt good. But yeah, there's the mods are putting a link to my Amazon store where you can buy all the coffee. There's free shipping, and our tangerine and our cherry cordial are like 50% off right now. And our summer blends are also there. So make sure you pick some up. Let's talk about, more importantly, the most
Kona ones. I'm on the Amazon page now. How do you find the
Kona's not on Amazon because Amazon takes 30%, and then I would have to charge $70 a bag.
Got it. So I want if I want the fancy one, I got to go to.
You got to go to coffeebrandcoffee.com to order it.
Coffeebrandcoffee.com.
I'll send you one, Luke. I'll send you one.
To do all that.
Well,
I'll buy some.
I'll let you know the drop is, I think, Tuesday, so it might not be up yet. Someone says, Jeremy acts more like Tim, joking about not having to fire anyone all the time. I wonder what makes his co-host feel. I tell them that to their face. What do you mean? Like, it's not a surprise. I'm very open about my books. I wonder if Tim is. Anyway, the MSNBC finally cooked. It is spawning many memes. End of an era? Nah, not really. It's just called MS Now. Or a lot of people are pointing out it looks like PMS now. With this little
finally representation for women, you know.
Finally, yeah. They're mad about everything and they don't know why. But you know, first of all, terrible name. It's like they didn't even workshop it. Second of all, you know, what do you think this says? I'll go to Hannah Claire first and then to Luke. What do you think this kind of says about the larger picture of mainstream news? I mean, they're just renaming because they got bought by Skydance. Okay, fine. But part of me believes like they probably could have kept the name. And if you look at the big,
assume they're not keeping the name because it's a legacy
Tainted.
they want to leave behind. Yeah. They're
Well,
intentionally
yeah.
trying to run away.
But
Sorry,
the bigger
keep going.
picture, just to add more context and I'll let you run. The bigger picture is also that, you know, really MSNBC is in massive decline, right? They've fired everybody. They've got Rachel Maddow has them over a barrel and is totally pegging them because she has like a $50 million contract. She works like 1 day a week. They're begging her to work more days. She just says no. And she's the only person they have that anyone tunes in for. And they know if she only works 1 day a week, that's not enough to keep the lights on. I mean, I would have thought that the Trump administration would have been able to keep mainstream news afloat, at least for his presidency, but it looks like the end perhaps is nigh. What do you think?
I think that you'll probably see a restructuring. I'm not ready to be like the walls are closing in, it's all gonna fall apart, none of them will exist. Like obviously these mega news corporations buy each other and shift around and try to change. But we all know that podcasting, the independence that platforms like Rumble and YouTube give smaller creators is really disruptive to this model. And so you're right, having these big figureheads like Rachel Maddow, who are collecting millions for millions and millions for like kind of not enough work is not helping. They are fighting for viewership that's bleeding not just to their similarly structured competitors, but to everywhere, right? Like there are people who are watching shows like this and other daily streams for their news rather than going to watch Rachel Maddow or the classic anchors. You know, obviously their name change is interesting, mostly because I think it's like my personal thought is the way that a lot of shows use the term cast or like whatever in podcasting. The now is the equivalent to like live, the current. They're trying to again move to this like internet based I'm going live, I'm streaming to you live. Typically a lot of the news is live, right? I mean, I used to think it was. So why would you need to emphasize now? I don't know that Rachel Maddow is shaking in her boots. You know, I think she's still happy
doesn't
with
care.
her.
Yeah,
she doesn't care at all. But any kind of rebrand is bad for your customers. So if you're dependent on boomers and you have now changed your name, I don't know, man. I feel like they're risking their clientele.
I used to watch MSNBC and now I go to the channel and now it's MS Now. I don't know. I gotta cancel your service. Like
I don't want to watch Mississippi Now, says your grandmother. She's like, what's going on here?
I know. Like I said that.
Now?
Like people will that actually will cost them 10 to 15% of their viewership. Yeah. Like people really will have that reaction. They're going to be like, what is this? This isn't what I watch.
Well, most of their viewership is geriatric. It's old, right? They have problems. They have cataracts. They have problems with their eyes, right? They keep being sold big pharma pills nonstop over and over again because that's the only advertisers that actually get a return on their kind of investment here. But MSNBC had so many scandals. They're dealing with massive financial strain, massive layoffs, a huge credibility collapse, plummeting ratings, and now they're rebranding themselves. It's not going to work. It's their dying last fart before they're taken out as the dinosaurs that they are. And it's incredible to see. And it's pretty clear. Listen, we're becoming more of the mainstream media now. than they are. It's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy to see our ratings, our viewership just destroy them. It's only, they understand it's only going to get worse now. And when everyone thinks MSNBC, they think of insane, deranged leftist lunatics that clearly are foaming at the mouth and are never Trumpers. This rebranding, I think, is critical for them to try to save face, but it's not going to work. No one's going to forget, and it's a signal in time, because I would argue the mainstream media would have been dead if it wasn't for Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, right? Years ago, SNL would have been canceled too. Like
exactly.
Let me add a marketer spin to this. The only viewers that really matter are what are the 25 to 54, 35 to 54. Yeah, the key demo. And when you look at the key demographic of people that are watching even a show that costs $50 million a year, like the Stephen Colbert Show, a show like Timcast IRL probably beats them. Like the key demo has moved to, yeah, he has only quote unquote 40,000 live, but he has about 250,000 viewers. And that's probably 80% in the key demo, 75% in the key demo. When you look at the key demo that Colbert gets, it's in the hundreds of thousands. I know that, like, based on the ratings or the review ratings, that last ratings I looked at a while ago, it was like a couple 100,000 or something. Like, and Timcast IRL costs basically nothing to put on. If it cost $1 million a year to put on, that would be a high number. And they're also eating the lunch of a lot of these mainstream news channels. Even this show, 100,000 people will watch it by the end of tomorrow, 150,000, most of which will be in the key demo. The thing is, advertisers are shifting. They're like, well, whose viewers are more loyal, right? So somebody who says, Rachel Maddow, or like when Alex Jones tells his people to buy something, they buy it. Yeah. When Tim shills something to buy it, they buy it. If we say, go sign up to be a member on the website, hopefully some people go to thequarter.com/join. But
as an example,
as an example, yeah. We need 10 today. But like the online spaces, viewers are more loyal, because there's more trust there. And so people stopped paying money to advertise. I mean, just put it this way. They say Colbert had what cost $50 million and was losing about 20 to 30 million a year over the past couple of years. But that means like during the lockdowns, he was making money, which means he had more than, presumably at least $50 million in $1 coming into the show every year. I'm wrong. It costs $100 million to produce. So, wow. And Colbert has like a $30 million salary, and then the other 70 million, who knows? But so presumably during lockdowns, Colbert was bringing in at least $100 million in $1. Ever since then, where did that 50 million go? Well, those people didn't stop advertising, although Pfizer was doing a lot of advertising that propped them up longer. The lockdowns definitely saved a lot of shows too, but like the money just isn't there. Like Colbert could have probably stayed on the air if he got paid what any one of us would make in his position, would be like $3 million a year. Sure. But he wants 30. So because Colbert makes 30, the next guy makes X. The next guy below him makes Y. You know what I mean? Like it rolls down, the producers make X. If everybody who ran that show took what any one of us would take to do that for an online show, a producer on some online show might make $100,000 a year, but they're probably making $800,000, $900,000, or $1 million a year to be a producer on Colbert, which probably has 9 producers. Right. This kind of stuff. So it all rolls downhill, and because the costs are so insane that like they need this insane ad revenue influx, it's just not there. Like, yeah, even for us, I talked about very candidly with both of you. Like, boy, this has been the worst summer literally in 10 years for advertising. There's a reason I'm pushing the memberships as aggressively as I am. Like, it's been bad, but I don't pay myself a salary of $10 million a year, $15 million a year. So it's like you tighten your belt and the show goes on.
Right. I think it also had to do with a lot of the privacy changes in Europe and in Australia, where now you have to have an identification to be online. I think that took a lot of people offline as well. Joe Scarborough is actually trying to spin this as some kind of fantastic news.
Really? What?
I sent you the clip here. I sent you the clip. It's in the chat right now.
No longer. We have a clean slate. We're free to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Here's the clip.
And it's frosted tips.
Breaking news as it pertains.
Breaking
to our
news.
Network.
Whoa.
This morning, a new name for the network by the end of the year. We will become MS Now, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. And look, Andrew, they even have a graphic up. I like
There it is.
Actually,
The new logo.
It looks very sporty.
Sporty?
We're going to be moving in this direction. MS Now, which I got to say, I got a call yesterday afternoon, and they're saying, "We hope you're okay." We're going. I was like, "What do you mean? Like this shows we're independent." And what I've said.
What?
He is struggling to spin, and he's had like 24 hours to work on this.
That's your spin. This shows you're independent. How? You still have a corporation as your boss. It doesn't show. What? Like that's of course people hit him with the BS now, PMS now, MSDNC, DNC now. Like they
have to drop the MS because it's always going to be mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now it's what the mainstream media is doing now.
Yep. There she goes again.
Yeah.
We try to tell her not to go speak against the mainstream, but she does it, and then she has to get
see
put on
what she says in
timeout.
the private chat.
Yeah, right. I know. It's not good, folks.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying there? You were saying mainstream media is good, right?
Me? Oh yeah, I love it. It's great. I think the problem is they can't drop MS as initial, so they're always going to be the first punching bag for mainstream media, right? And this spin from him being like, no, it's good because they told me yesterday, and it's fine. Like there's no justification for this. They know it's going to hurt them. They also know it's not helping anything. They are still MSNBC. Just worse. Also, you can't get out there and be like, it's my source. That's what it stands for, and make anyone believe that. Yeah,
nobody's buying that. Hey, we've got a story to talk about this Indian truck driver, and then we've got the members only segment, which is on a little spicier topic. But I do want to issue an actual request out there. We have 20,000 people watching us across different platforms. I know everybody. This is the last time I'll mention on the show, but I know a lot of people got their hands out all the time. Everyone wants a monthly whatever. But we really could and do need your support. And I'm hoping that we can get 100 people, 200 people. I mean, we have 20,000 of you watching. Take the plunge. Go to thequartering.com/join right now. Sign up or become a Rumble Premium member using the link in the description. Both help us exactly the same. And, we really could use the help. And whether you do it now during the show or afterwards, once we kind of get to a point where, enough members, I don't have to shill it as hard and as pathetically. But literally, this isn't so I can build another, buy another fish tank. This is to keep the show going and paying the staff and, all that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping that, if you're watching on your TV or you're listening later, you'll remember thequartering.com/join. Go ahead and sign up today. And we can change the value. If there's stuff you want to get for becoming a member, we'll add stuff to it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like this is kind of ground floor time too, because it's when it's going to be the easiest to respond to requests,
Yeah. And if you have a question about you can watch the members only stuff. You don't even have to use Discord if you don't want to. It's all in the members area. You can watch the members only streams there, see the members only videos, all that kind of stuff at thequartering.com/join, or if you become a Rumble Premium. If I'm already a Rumble Premium member, how do I get some member content? It's on the Rumble and the website. It's getting uploaded today, and you can watch it in either spot. Okay, so I want to talk about this story that won't go away. We have an illegal immigrant who was supposed to leave this country I guess, was allowed to stay because he said he was afraid of going back to India, which is odd because I keep getting told how great India is. He was afraid to go back to India. So I think it was California, right? Let him stay.
No, he got his license in California, but this incident happened in Florida.
No, I know, but he was supposed to get deported, and they let him stay.
Yes.
So I think it was California that let him stay in the first place. Now 3 people are dead, and people are pointing out, well, like, you know, the way he was looking, he looked like, I mean, he might have just been in shock. I think people are making a little bit too much of like his reaction. I don't know how I would react if I walked out of my car and I just realized I'd taken 3 lives. But at the end of the day, this guy shouldn't have been in the country. And I think you can draw a pretty straight line to these 3 people that are no longer alive. They would all still be alive today. And there are many such cases. You know, can we get, like, why isn't California being held accountable for this? You know, like,
they should.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are.
Well, the governor of Florida just responded to this, saying this should have never happened in his state here. And when we look at traffic rules and how they're followed in India, there's a different culture, right? Yeah. There's a different approach towards how you drive, how you have respect for the road, and how you have respect for others. Now, did that have an impact here? A lot of people are saying, yeah. And I think there's a legitimate argument and legitimate conversation. I mean, I was, hit by an illegal in New York City. And New York City is a sanctuary city. They're like, yeah, we'll give you all the driver's license. And then this guy didn't have any insurance. Right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, I had like serious neck problems and back problems because of it. So I had something like this happen to me personally from an illegal that clearly just wasn't given a damn. And when we look at how people drive in a lot of these kind of developing nations, they don't have the same type of criteria. They don't have the same kind of care and consideration for people on the road here. And yes, I think this should spur on a big conversation about who we're actually allowing to be on the road here. But, you know, this guy, I mean, his reaction here is, and again, a lot of people are saying he just didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
And
I could see how you would look at him and feel that way, but I could also be like, dude, brother's in shock. You know, like,
that's
maybe.
True too. Yeah.
You know,
it's hard to tell when people, like, I think you'll see this sometimes with, like, when you listen to 911 calls, and sometimes they are telling and you're like, this really does seem off, but other times it's hard to say what the correct emotional reaction would be. I think one of the issues with this, of course, is that one state made a decision that impacted the lives of people in another state. And I feel like that's the continued problem with illegal immigration. I mean, you could be Texas and have strict enforcement and serious penalties, but if New Mexico is like, well, welcome in, guys, and go wherever you want, then it's really, I would think, creating hostility between the governments, but also putting all kinds of people at risk.
I think Jeremy then paused here for a little bit here, or I think he went
to go get water.
Yeah. But I think traffic is like the perfect system for understanding immigration. I mean, being a polite driver, not being, self-interested behavior is something that you see so much of. Now, if you go to like India or some of these like Asian countries, it's a free-for-all. Like, even when it comes to crossing the streets, there's no pedestrian crosswalks. People have to run through traffic in order to get across the street because no one will stop for them. There's no kind of care or consideration about that at all. And you look at the amount of like traffic lights. I mean, they don't even have them in many parts of India. And it's just like Mad Max, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. And like I think a lot of people have seen those like dash cam footage. Like, they'll run people over and just keep going. You know, like they don't care. But I mean, at the heart of this is what is clearly an unqualified driver, with probably another unqualified driver, doing imagine trying to do a U-turn in the divide, like, so just so people know, if you're in an expressway in Florida, it's about 85 miles an hour is about the average speed of everybody. And you have a freaking tractor trailer stopped in blocking the entire highway. Like, I don't know that there's a whole heck of a lot of time to even react to that from a distance. And like, I mean, this van clearly did not see it. I mean, that van hit it going 70 or 80 miles an hour, almost certainly killed everyone inside.
Yeah, 3 people dead.
Yeah. And like, this guy's just like, oh, I do not redeem it. This is a normal driving maneuver in India where no one should be allowed to drive and no tourist should ever get in a car. They have astronauts, rockets, and nuclear weapons, but no sewers, paved roads, or countrywide road system. No underground water delivery system. The list goes on. I mean, I know that Elon Musk said that people like him are better than people like me because I spent my youth watching Saved by the Bell. But like, I'm kind of over. I'm getting pretty radicalized on immigrants, and I'm gonna save that for. I'm gonna save that for the members only thing because I'm starting to get pretty like. I don't like that I'm this way, but
why?
Well, I don't know. It feels uncomfortable, but like now I'm kind of like I hate them all. Like.
You don't want to be like filled with hate for no reason. On the other hand, like in this example, this is clearly not okay. And I think it is obvious that if you're like, oh, well, in India, we do this, even though I'm now in a country that has traffic laws, I'm still going to do it. You clearly are not here to blend in and be what assimilate to our culture, or at least not our driving laws.
Yeah. I just don't get it. And again, like, who knows it doesn't matter if this guy feels remorse at all. He doesn't belong in this country. Now, do American truckers do terrible things? Yes. And that's fine. But I can't just say, boy, if we didn't let them in, like, they're already here. So let's deal with the problem, with our own, truckers driving too many hours or whatever the case may be that you could have against them. But like, when Trump, he's got money for a Gucci shirt though. Any bets on if that Gucci shirt is authentic Gucci? I'm gonna guess.
I don't think so, but
I'm
also
guess
mean
no.
and
Factory
bad.
where they made it.
Yeah, he got it straight from the source. It probably is real. But like, there was another truck doing this today too. Now I don't know who's driving it, but why was he allowed to stay? Because he was afraid to go back to India. I don't care. You have to go back. You shouldn't have been here in the first place.
There's no war in India. Why
what are you
afraid to go back to India?
Yeah,
I mean, all the white women love going to India. Eat, pray, love. It tells you how great of a cultural discovery you're going to get there by going to India. What's wrong?
You will get enriched. That's for sure.
He's not a white woman. If he was a white woman, I could understand. I'm scared of going to India. Right?
Yeah.
There's no reason he should be afraid to go back to his hometown. There's nothing wrong with his hometown.
Yeah, this is what we're really seeing in real time. If Trump would have the balls to ramp this up more, like, he started talking about doing like checking if people speak English at way stations. He should be using them for immigration too. And like, this nonsense, like, we just had Joe Rogan have his Kelly Osbourne moment where he's like, the American people didn't want Trump to be deporting landscapers. It's like, yes, we did. Yes, we did. I don't care what they do. And like, I talked about it in a video. I said, like, every landscaper, I've been very lucky that I can have landscapers. Yes, I understand that. I'm privileged. However, every one of them that I've ever had is white. So, and that's not like a prerequisite. Like, clearly white people do that job. It's not a job that, like, they want you to be like, oh, well, only illegal brown people can do landscaping. It's usually been elderly men or college boys who are doing the job out there, and they're always white.
Like, I got served so much landscaping and pressure washing business entrepreneurial middle schoolers over the summer. Like, there are tons of young men in America who are like, I can mow your lawn. I'm happy to be in the sun. I don't want to sit at a desk job. I will learn how to trim your hedges or plant whatever. Like, it seems crazy to me that it's like, this is only something we pretend we don't look down on can do.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not just that. Robots are also taking over, even the lawn care industry. I was like, oh, there's a drone I could buy that literally mows your lawn all the time. Right.
I had one that's robotic. It works great if you don't have German Shepherds. It cannot identify. It doesn't identify landmines.
Yeah, I sent you an image of this type of kind of representation of what's happening right now that I think is pretty indicative of what we're seeing right now. But we're learning more about this guy. We're learning that he crossed into California illegally on September of 2018.
India. Wow.
Yeah, he was arrested by Border Patrol. And then he was processed and expedited for removal, fast track deportation by the Trump administration, but claimed fear of going back to India is why he was allowed to, of course, stay here. He was released on a $5,000 immigration bond in January of 2019, and he was given a notice to appear, and he has remained in immigration proceedings ever since.
Yeah, so he won't even get justice. They'll just deport him, and he'll come right back in. Like, they won't even put this guy in prison.
Yeah.
I'll go to some viewer comments. That's the other thing. Like, these immigrants come here and commit heinous crimes, and then they're just like, oh, we'll just deport them. It's like, okay, great. So
especially if they're coming from that one country in the Middle East that
right. They just come right back in, by the way, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. On Rumble, Dave Dorr says, I'm in California. I was rear-ended by an illegal, and he fled. Highway Patrol couldn't even come to the scene because there were no injuries and my car was still drivable. Always have a dash cam. I know that. Yeah, that's, you should. People really should. Or drive a Tesla.
It happened to me. It happens so much more than people know that it happens. And insurance prices are going up dramatically as well because of it. As a lot of these accidents, usually go underreported. But I would bet if we would actually have a government that would look into the details of this, we would find this in far more greater numbers than we actually even know about now.
Yeah, it's
surprise. I mean, it's the kind of thing like if I don't know if you guys ever follow the work that Border Hawk does, but they report on people who are killed by illegal immigrants, and some of them are horrible murders, but some of them are also like DUI or car related death or injury, and I think that is something that the news just sort of skips over because you're not allowed to talk about the fact that someone who's in the country illegally is potentially a hazard because they don't face the same repercussions or have the same financial obligations that other people do. It's sad. And also just this obvious example of how we pretend that the system that's broken is not broken to appease some sort of PC guilt trip.
Yeah, right. It's just give us 10 years. Our son says, if I see another 40-year-old immigrant driving a car with student driver stickers on it, doing 35 and a 70 with heavy traffic, I'm just gonna hit him. I'm tired of it. Skyline says, send back the illegals. I want my landscaping to be done by blacks. At least they speak American/sarcasm. I mean, hey, brown people can do my landscaping too, but just be here legally. That's all. Expert claims I was an EMT until an illegal ran a red light and hit my door at 65 miles an hour. Now I can't be an EMT due to injuries, and I'm in medical debt. Yeah, now how many other people's lives are impacted by that too, outside of yours too? It's these truck drivers. I mean, the illegals in the trucking industry has been a known thing for a long time. If you talk to any trucker, they'll tell you it's like loaded full of them. Most of them don't even have their CDLs. They just show up on the job site, they put them in a truck, and they drive.
Right, but the industries and laws prevent like an 18-year-old American citizen from signing up to be a long-haul trucker because apparently their brains aren't developed enough, they're not skilled enough. But it's better to have someone who is here illegally and maybe without a license who can't read the signs on the road. Like this system is so messed up and broken.
Well, and they don't also, they're allowed to go fight and die in a war, but they can't drive a big rig.
Right.
It's trucking is just, again, it's actually a good paying job too. Like this idea that like, oh, landscaping, blah, blah. I'll tell you what, if my landscaper's bill is any indication, they're doing just fine. Truckers make good money. If you allow, and they would make even better money if you weren't making them compete against illegals.
Right.
The whole thing is like nonsense. You know,
the biggest thing I've criticism of trucking that I've ever heard is that, especially if you're long haul, you can be gone for long periods of time, which can have an impact on your marriage, on your family, things like that, which is like, to me, why you make a 20-year-old guy who's single do it or earn a lot of money and potentially change careers a little bit later. Like, there are solutions to some of these issues. We just pretend that they're irrelevant to the solution. I don't know. It's just, it's a broken system.
Fight Milk says, OTR driver here, so over the road. Half these drivers I meet at fuel stations can't speak any English at all. The amount of truckers I see wearing head diapers has gone up like wildly. I don't know if it's something about Sikhs that are driving trucks now, but I see them like crazy in the gas stations now, and they're not working there; they're driving the trucks. Scott says, if you're a long haul trucker, your woman is getting forklifted by Tyrone and Chad. That's why guys don't want to do it too long. That's not true. My aunt and uncle, they both drove, and they're like she drove and he drove. They made a shitload of money. They had a beautiful house on the lake in Wisconsin Dells. Like,
if your spouse is gonna cheat, they'll cheat even if you work at home. You know, that's not a total reason.
You can make that same argument for joining the military. I don't think. First of all, there's a lot of trucking jobs that you're home every night. By the way, a lot of them. Most of the trucks you see, unless you live on a major, thoroughfare, are probably just interstate. Like they're home every night, or maybe they're gone one night or two nights. So there's lots of jobs in there that aren't necessarily driving from New York to California, where you're gone for a week. Plus, let's not forget lot lizards. Truckers can enjoy it. You don't know what a lot lizard is?
No.
Oh. It's a lady of the night, specific to the trucking industry.
That's correct. They are at the truck stops.
Truckers would never.
How would you know about this?
I mean, I could tell you this. I have seen them, and like regular prostitutes are gnarly, obviously, but lot lizards are a whole different level. Like, you got to have it's been a long time, for those lot lizards. You're not getting the cream of the crop. Let's put it that way. I do want to give a second to let you guys let everyone know. By the way, there's 18,000 on Rumble right now. If you're watching the show, we're live Monday through Friday at 2 Eastern, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday at 1 Eastern. We have rotating co-hosts. So we've got Luke, Hannah Claire, we've got Melanie Mack. This Wednesday, I think we're going to have a guest on. We're going to have Hannah Claire's girlfriend on at some point here.
Nice.
Yeah. Taylor. Hopefully we'll have her on soon. So make sure you click that follow button. It's absolutely free, or subscribe, or wherever you're watching. Luke, let them know where they can find your stuff and how they can support you.
Yeah, I've been working really hard. I'm finally getting back into more of a positive subscriber base on youtube.com/wearechange. It was like -600. Now it's like -100, which is good, I guess. Yeah, so I'm working on beating that. I'm releasing a lot of videos. I'm going to release a Epstein video highlighting how there was 9 cameras that all went down at the same time.
Could have happened to anyone, Luke.
Just
9.
a coincidence.
Just mysteriously. And then we're uncovering more of the FBI's lies in the next video. That's really egregious. So that's going to be a really interesting video. youtube.com/wearechange. I appreciate all the time that people spend with me there. I've been working really, really hard on releasing a lot of videos, even in my makeshift bootleg studio here. And youtube.com/wearechange is the best way to go. I got a shirt on here too that says Run by Blackmail America. That also is available on our store here. But check out the YouTube channel. I think you guys will be very shocked to see the latest video that's going to come out soon.
Cool. And you guys can find my work on my Rumble and YouTube channels. It's Hannah Claire B on both places. You can see videos all about the news, some cultural commentary, and things like that. Of course, I'll be back later this week with Melanie for Astrocast, which are some of my favorite days of the week. And thanks to all of you guys who've already checked out my stuff. So it's Hannah Claire B on Rumble, on YouTube, and on X.
We've got a members-only segment coming up after this on some hilarious Doritos, some Doritos drama. But also, if you're watching the show, well, you have to join as a member to find out. If you are a Rumble Premium member, you get to see it as well. If you haven't, And if you're a quartering.com member, you can just go to thequartering.com, log in, and you'll see the link on top to watch us live. Please do consider going to thequartering.com/join right now and join for just $6. You get access to the second half hour, the last half hour of every show. You get to call in. You get to do all sorts of stuff like that. So with that, we're going to go to the members only segment, and we'll be back tomorrow at 2 Eastern. And we're going to raid Viva. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to raid Viva, and then we're going to go to the members only segment. And then we're going to do some call-ins. So let's do that. We're going to raid Viva, confirm. So everyone, make sure you join up. Rumble Premium, link in the description below if you need to sign up for Rumble Premium, by the way. Using my promo code FREEQUARTERING, you will get a free month. And then now we will move to our members section. Let's see how smoothly I can do this. And then so that means doing
it while vamping is really impressive. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if this works. You're gonna have to move this destination from